get started. So thank you everyone for joining us here at Up and Moving, the Tuesday night edition. We've got a good workout planned for you here this evening. So we've got some new faces if you've been in on the workouts before. Some of these faces are probably going to look a little bit different, at least what you can see of our face. So I'm Isaac. I'm a PhD student here at Michigan Tech in the Kinesiology and Integrative Physiology department. And I'm joined on camera here by the great and powerful Sarah. And Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a fourth year undergraduate exercise science student. I'm hoping to go to med school next year, and I look forward to working out with you guys tonight.
So yeah, we're happy to have Sarah with us. And then also behind the scenes, not on the camera, we also have Gwen. She's kind of running the show. So if you have chat questions or anything, go ahead and send those during the workout. And Gwen will be sure to relay those to us, and we'll get back to you. Let's go ahead, we'll get into it, and we'll start moving right away. So let's just either walk or kind of jog in place.
For most of the time, I'm going to be demonstrating the easier version of the exercises, and Isaac's going to be doing a little bit harder of the variations. So if you're looking for something a little easier, follow along with me, and if you want something a little harder, Isaac's got it for you.
Yes, so we'll have multiple variations of all our exercises, and we'll both be doing different variations, so you can kind of find the one that works for you. We'll start off with a little workout today, or a warm-up today, I'm sorry, this is going to be a workout. But so what we're going to be doing later on, so you kind of know what's coming, we've got some light warm-up to start, and then we're going to get into 3 upper body exercises, 3 lower body exercises today. And we are going to superset or do an upper body and a lower body exercise back to back and take breaks in between. And we're going to alternate between those exercises. And we're going to get through a total of 6 of those today. We've got some improvised weights that we're going to use to sort of load these movements up. Let's go ahead and get into some high knees now. So what I want you to do now is kind of just drive that knee up to your chest as high as you can. And keep those arms pumping. So again, if you weren't here when we were kind of introducing the equipment that you might need, make sure that you've got a good sturdy chair or a table near you too can work, something to give you a little bit of support to lean on. And then also anything that you can kind of improvise as a weight. So we've got some examples here of like a water jug, could be a gallon of milk. And then I like to use a backpack. And I like to load soup or water jugs in it. And then I can really control how much weight I'm using with my exercises. And of course, cans of soup to use as weights. So if you need to last minute here as we're warming up, run and grab those. We're going to go into some butt kicks next. So now I want you to think about taking your heel, driving it up to your butt. Kind of getting a little bit of a stretch and warming up those quads. Hopefully that heart rate is starting to get elevated. You're breathing a little bit harder. We're getting ready for some exercise here. Perfect. Try to get that heel up as high to your butt as you can. Try to get a little bit more. Good.
Keep your arms pumping too, just to give it a little bit more of that warm-up feeling in your upper body as well.
Good. All right, we're going to go into a Frankenstein kick here. So you're going to stick your hands out in front of you like you're Frankenstein, and then you're going to try to kick that foot up to your toe, your fingertips. Trying to keep your knee as straight as you can. If you can't get your foot all the way up to your hands, that's fine. Just get it as far as you can up there. I know Halloween is coming past, but it's never too late for some Frankenstein kicks. If you feel like you need to make sound effects as you're doing it at home, you can too. Some Frankenstein noises. Perfect. Well, I'm definitely breathing a little bit harder here. Always nice and warm in this lab, in our shooting studio here. All right, let's go ahead just into some arm circles now. So we're going to swing those arms forward, starting with kind of smaller circles. Good, and then we're going to get a little bit bigger. Still going forward, good. And now we can make them a little bit bigger. Perfect, let's go ahead and switch directions. We'll start small again. Perfect, we'll get a little bit bigger here. Good, and then big as you can get them. Really getting those shoulders warmed up. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go to some side-to-side stepping with some arm swings. So crossing those arms in front, stepping side to side. Think about as you're opening up those arms, you're kind of pinching your shoulder blades and sticking your chest out. Kind of work on getting that back warmed up. Perfect. All right, last warm-up movement, then we'll take a little bit of a break, get a quick drink before we get into some of the resistance exercises. So you're going to get a little bit wider stance. And then from here, you're going to lean to the side, sort of like a side lunge. And then you're going to open up and try to reach for the ceiling. And then you're going to come back to the top, lunge to the other side. And you can either rest that elbow on that thigh, or you can even touch the ground if you can make it there. And then you're going to open up, come back to the top, go to that other side, open up. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Perfect. So hand down to the side, open up, back to the top. Hand down to the side, open up, back to the top. Hand down to the side, open up. Good, back to the top. Hand down to the side, open up. Good. Perfect. All right, let's take a little bit of a break here. Grab a quick drink if you need it. I know I'm already sweating. Good, we'll wait for everybody to get back here. So our first pair of exercises that we're going to do are a push-up variation, and we're going to do a single leg deadlift variation. So I'm going to start off by showing you the different variations of the push-up, and then it's up to you guys at home to pick which variation you think fits you best. So kind of pick it based on your abilities, something that's challenging enough. With each one of these exercises, what we want to do is you want the exercise to be challenging by the time you hit 10 to 15 reps. So that's kind of our magic rep window, 10 to 15. So I want you to land somewhere in that range. It's up to you where you stop each exercise, but pick a variation and an amount of weight for you that lands you somewhere in that range. And we want these to be challenging. The muscle should feel tired at the end of the set, but we don't want you going to failure to where you can't do any more. So kind of pick your variation based on that. So first variation, I'm going to kind of show you the easiest variation first. Okay, yeah. So we have a chair push-up. Sarah's going to show you a chair push-up here. So if you pick the back of the chair, or even a high countertop can work. And so you're doing a pretty inclined push-up. And just make sure that that chair isn't going to move on you. So that's the first variation. Next variation, to make it a little bit harder, if that's a little bit too easy for you, is use the actual seat of the chair. And then you can do a push-up from there. So you're lowering yourself down a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. Perfect, good. And again, a countertop can work great too. If you have a countertop in your kitchen, you can lean on that. And then our last variation is just going to be from the floor. So we can either do a full push-up on the floor, which is a little bit tougher if you really want to go for that. And then to make that a little bit easier is on the knees. So kind of pick which one of those variations feels the best for you. Where do you feel like you can do about 10 to 15 reps? That's what we want to get. So we're going to go into our Very first set of push-ups, our first working set. So I want you to stop between 10 and 15. So pick which variation works best for you and do as many as you can. And again, we're trying not to go all the way to failure. And one other tip too, in case you're having wrist problems, if you do these on the floor, go onto your knuckles as opposed to on your palms. So you're almost just kind of keep pushing your knuckles into the floor to line that wrist up better and kind of help you from straining the wrist as much. And you can even use, if you've got dumbbells, you can even set the dumbbell down on the floor and actually put your hand on the dumbbell when you do the push-up. That's another variation, and Sarah's showing that right now too. All right, let's go into our first working set. I've done a lot of explaining. Let's get some actual exercise in. So everybody, here we go. Our first set, 10 to 15. I'm going to go with a chair push-up. What are you going with, Sarah?
I guess I'll go on the floor on my knees.
She's going on the floor on the knees. All right, here we go. 10 to 15 reps, guys. First set. Let's do it. Think about keeping those abs nice and tight. You want that spine to stay nice and neutral. Straight line from your shoulder down to your knee. Perfect. I'm done with mine. And always remember too, when you're doing push-ups, you can pick a width where you put your hands wherever is comfortable. So wherever comfortable when you're picking how far apart your hands are. Good. All right, first set of push-ups down. You can check that one off. We're going to switch into our next exercise. We'll come back to push-ups in just a second. So for this one, we're going to be doing a single leg deadlift. So I'm going to show you the easiest version first. So what you're going to do is, I like to use a little bit of weight. You don't have to use weight, but I'm going to grab onto some weight. I'm going to use the chair for a little stability. I'm going to kind of stand off to the side of the chair like this. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kicking this back foot back and bending over. Perfect. Almost like you're going to pick something up off the floor. What we want to do is move at that hip, and we want to keep the spine nice and neutral. So you can see I'm bending down on that one leg. Almost like I'm going to pick something up off the floor. And I've got a little weight in my hand. If you need a weight, fantastic. Add a little extra. Perfect. And so what I would do here is hold the weight, or think about reaching with the hand opposite of the leg that you're standing on. So opposite of the leg that you're standing on is what you're reaching with. So you're supporting yourself with the same leg that's on the floor. Perfect. And use your chair if you need to, if you need a little extra support. And then what we're going to do is just flip and hit the other side. Now, if you feel like you don't need the chair, fantastic. You can do it without the chair and do the exact same thing. This is a real good exercise for balance and strengthen the hips. This is a great exercise here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do it without the chair. Sarah is going to show you with the chair. So let's go into our first set. So again, 10 to 15 reps. And I'm going to bend down, reach to the floor, come back up. Think about kicking that back foot back. And I also want you to think about a straight line from your shoulder down to that foot that's kicking up in the air. Straight line from my shoulder to my foot that's in the air. And you'll start to feel this kind of in the side of your butt is where it will really start burning. Perfect.
How much in the knee bend?
How much knee bend?
Yep.
Oh, just a slight knee bend. So the knee does not have to be completely straight. Just a little bit of bend there. So once you finish your set on one leg, go ahead and switch to the other leg. So I'm switching to my right leg now. I'm going to use a little bit of support on this one. So again, 10 to 15 on both legs, and then go ahead and take a little bit of a break after that. I'm feeling this one burning in my glutes. How about you, Sarah?
Definitely.
I'm
And in
feeling it.
my hamstring as well.
Perfect. Great job, guys. And this one will test your balance. Don't get frustrated if you lose your balance a little bit. That's part of the movement. We're training balance and some hip strength.
Don't feel like you have to go too fast on this one too.
Yep.
Slow and controlled is a little better here.
And if you can't touch the floor, it's okay if you can't touch the floor too. Just a little bit of movement in there is perfect. All right, once you finish a set on each leg, we're going to go back into our push-up.
Go for the easy version on the chair this time.
And grab a real quick drink if you need one right here before we get back into another round. Good. All right, let's go into another set of push-ups. So 10 to 15. Feel free to switch your variation that you're using if you found that the last one was too hard or too easy. And we're going for 10 to 15. Here we go. Just stop yourself wherever you feel like you're starting to get fatigued. Abs nice and tight. Kind of think about you're doing a plank. You're trying to keep your body nice and straight. Don't let your hips sink. Perfect. Good job. Woo. All right. Okay, we'll take a little bit of a breather. Okay, we're going to go back into these single leg deadlifts. So if you tried to do it without the chair last time and you had some balance issues, go ahead, use the chair. Don't feel bad about it. This one's tough. If you did good without the chair, we'll carry on.
Or if you want to use a different weight, lighter or heavier, that might be something to do this time.
Yep. I'm going to give you a little bit of a different angle here. Sarah's giving you the side view. So just a little bit of bend in that knee. We're keeping the chest up, the back nice and flat. Thinking about moving at the hip, hinge at the hip. You're like a door, and you're hinging at that hip joint, keeping that back nice and flat. Good. So going for 10 to 15 on each leg. Perfect. You may have a little bit of lose your balance every now and then. That's okay. Just collect yourself, get back into the set. Perfect. Good. I'm switching legs. I hit my 15 on that side. I'm going to the other leg. Another cue that can help you is think about keeping your hips level. So you want to keep your hips square to the floor as you're doing these, and your chest square to the floor. And take that back foot and push that back foot out. Almost like you're trying to kick somebody behind you with it. Good. Yeah, I got a good burn in my hip right now. It's feeling good. Apparently, I need to do more of these. Good. I need some balance work too. Especially now that it's getting to be winter. It's going to be slippery and icy out there. All right. Go ahead. Grab a quick drink here. Take a little bit of a break. We're going to go into our last set of these two exercises. And then we're going to be moving on. So if your upper body is getting kind of tired, your hip is getting tired, it's okay. We got a break coming. All right, for my last one, I think I'm going to switch into a full push-up. I'm going to make this last set a little bit harder. It's the last one we got to do, so you can push it a little harder. Make sure you stay safe, though. Keep your form tight. Let's go into our last set of push-ups. Here we go, 10 to 15. Keep those abs tight. Don't let your hips drop. Looking good. Finish off this set strong here. Good. Woo. All right, fantastic job. Push-ups are done. Those are out of the way. All right, we're gonna go into our last set of these tricky deadlifts, and then we'll be done with these. So we're gonna go for 10 to 15 reps on each leg. Here we go, last set. If you can, add some weight or maybe try to use your chair a little bit less for balance. Try to make this one a little bit more challenging. It's our last set of them. Push it. Good, abs tight, hinge at the hip. We're moving at the hip. Nice and slow. Sometimes it helps with balance to focus on something out in front of you. And sometimes if you think about kind of gripping your big toe into the ground too, that can help. Think about grabbing onto the ground with that big toe. Perfect. All right, I'm switching to the other leg. Almost done with these. Woo, boy, I'm feeling that. Good. Kick that back leg back behind you. Perfect. Great job, guys.
Looking good, everybody.
Woo, okay.
There's a question.
Done. We made it. We're through the first pair of exercises, push-ups and deadlifts down.
Question.
What do we got? Should I feel it in the back of my leg? Yes, that is exactly where you want to feel it. Back of your leg. So a little bit in your hamstrings, and then sort of almost like the side of your butt, you should feel it in your glutes. That's where, for me, it really burns. Sometimes you feel it a little bit in your lower back, which isn't really necessarily a bad thing. It just means you're working those muscles a little bit, which can be good. We all bend over throughout the day, so it's good to strengthen those muscles. All right, so we're gonna grab a quick drink here, take a little break. Take some time to collect yourself. I'm sweating pretty good. Sarah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. I think Sarah's kicking my butt here today. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next couple of exercises. So again, we're gonna rely on our handy dandy chair. So we're gonna be doing a one-arm row. So again, I'm gonna use my water jug here. You can also use a backpack, and you can throw some cans of soup in it. Anything you need for weight. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna spread or put your left leg forward, and you can lean onto your chair. You don't need the chair if you don't need it. You can just kind of free stance. And then with the opposite arm of that leg that's forward, you're gonna be coming into a row. So thinking about keeping my chest facing the floor, I'm keeping my chest square, and I'm driving my elbow up and pushing my chest out. Good. And then just kind of continuing that movement with that arm. So again, if you feel like your back is kind of straining, leaning over, use the chair. Kind of lean onto the chair for some support. Another thing you can do too if you're having issues is you can put your knee up on the chair and use that for extra support too. And that's probably the most supported position right there if you're feeling it in your back and not so much in kind of your upper back. Because really you're going to feel it kind of in the upper back are the muscles we're looking to target.
If you do choose to do that one on the chair, just make sure that you're not sinking into the shoulder. Keep a nice press into that arm on the chair so that your weight's not sinking down into your shoulder.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, follow Sarah. She's got it down. She's got the technique. Good. All right, so if you have not hit your first set of 10 to 12, I'm going to jump into my first working set here. I found a variation that works for me, and I'm going to go into it. So our 10 to 15 on each arm. Here we go. Once you finish your first set, go ahead and take a little bit of a break. Think about keeping that chest square to the floor, driving your elbow up, pushing your chest out. Good. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and switch arms now. Can too, if you really need to, you can take that arm that you're not pulling with and you can even rest it on your knee. If you kind of need to take a little bit of strain off your back. I'm driving that elbow up. I'm starting the lawnmower, or maybe the snow blower. I guess it's snow blowing season, so we're starting snow blowers. Perfect. All right. Good job. Go ahead, take your time and finish off that first set of those. The other exercise that we are going to superset with these, or do back to back, is a squat. So great exercise for the quads. We'll get a little bit of the glutes in there. And so for variations of this, we have Sarah, do you want to show us the chair sit to stand?
Yeah, so this will be the easiest option probably. You're gonna stand right in front of your chair. You're gonna sit your hips back, nice and square, and then stand right back up. And you're gonna just repeat that. If you want to make it not quite as hard, try not to put your weight all the way back on the chair, but just go down till you feel your butt tap the chair and then stand right back up. So that's our easiest variation for this one.
And you can even, if I'm in Sarah's position and I'm most comfortable going on a chair, I can even give her a backpack. She can either put it around her arms or she can just kind of hold on to it. And that can make that a little bit harder if you feel comfortable going to the chair. Other than that, next variation is you can use the chair, or again, the counter for a little bit of balance support. And you're just going to go into a body weight squat. As low as you can get comfortably. Now, what I want you to do is you can put your feet wherever they feel most comfortable. So you can play with different widths, and you can play with the angle that your toes are pointing at. So just find a stance for you that feels the most comfortable. It can be wide, it can be narrow, but you can use your chair for some support. And I'm just going to get as low as I comfortably can. And then if you don't need the chair for support, you can go ahead and just get rid of that chair. You can use your arms as a counterbalance, and you can just go into a body weight squat here. And then, of course, if you can do 15 really easy of a body weight squat, you can always throw your backpack on or hang on to a weight in front of you. So let's go ahead and do our first working set, 10 to 15 of whatever squat variation works for you. I'm going to go ahead and take my water jug and I'm going to put it in my backpack. Put it in my backpack, and then I'm going to do squats this way.
And I'm going to show you guys the first variation, but with some weight in my hand as well.
Oh no. Apparently I'm not, because the water jug is leaking.
Here, you want this one?
Technical difficulties. I'll just put my backpack on. Thanks. I've got some cans of soup and a book in here. Good, going 10 to 15. Keep good control. You can use those arms to counterbalance you too if you feel like you're kind of falling forward a little bit. Good. Perfect. Okay. Everybody looks like they're wrapping up. So we're going to go take a little bit of a break if you need to. Grab a drink really quick. And we're going to come right back into those one-arm rows. So grab your backpack, your can of soup, whatever you need. And again, I'm going to stagger my stance, so I've got 1 foot forward, and then I'm going to be rowing with that other arm, going for 10 to 15. Keeping my chest facing the floor so I'm not opening up too much. I'm driving my elbow up. Getting a little bit of a pause at the top too. That's the hardest part of this exercise, is right at the top. So if you can just hold it for a second once that elbow gets up. You don't want to go through that range of the motion too quick. Perfect. Good. And go ahead and switch to the other arm when you finish that side up. And I'm just going to stagger my other foot forward and row with that other arm. And I'm leaning on my chair here for just a little bit of balance support.
we're doing 3 sets of these, so if you want to use a different weight or a different item for a different difficulty, feel free to change it up too. On that last set, if you want to go a little lighter.
Perfect. Woo.
We got a question for you.
All right, we got a question. When should we breathe in and breathe out during the upward pull movements? It's definitely okay at quarter squat. So when you guys are squatting, just go as low as you can comfortably. That's all you have to do. If it's getting this low, that's fine. If you can get super low, that's fantastic. That's good mobility. Great. Just do whatever you can. We're just trying to kind of hit those muscles. Trying to keep injury free here, so keep good control, nice and slow. Go ahead, take a little break for a second, or you can jump right into those squats if you want to. I'm going to grab a quick drink. All right, and I'm going to go into the second set of squats for me. So I'm grabbing my backpack with the weight on it. I'm going to put those arms out in front of me to kind of counterbalance me, give me some balance. And I'm going nice and slow. So generally what you want to do with resistance training is try to breathe in on the lowering phase or on the phase where you're not doing the work, and then breathe out when you're doing the work. So with squats, breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. In on the way down, out on the way up. Perfect. Good. My legs are burning a little bit. I'm feeling those quads. Good. Woo. All right. Great job. We've got one more set. We're almost there, guys. Take a little break. One more set of rows, one more set of squats. I'm just going to catch my breath for a second here. All right. Okay. You ready, Sarah? Last set of these? Let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay, going to rows. Got my feet staggered, chest facing the floor, and I'm driving my elbow up. Breathe out when you're pulling up. Breathe in on the way down. Out on the way up. In on the way down.
I got another question. So how far do my knees go over my toes during the squat movement?
Well, if it's going over your knees and there's pain, don't do it. If your knee is going over your toe and it hurts, don't do it. If it's going over your toe but it doesn't hurt, it's probably okay. It's not going to explode. So just kind of, if it's comfortable and it's not causing pain, don't worry about it. If it's causing pain, switch it up. All right, I'm switching to the other arm. Last set of rows for me. I'm ready to be done with these. I don't know about you guys. This one gets the back tired. Great job. Woo. Done. Made it. Awesome job, guys. Take a little break, get a drink. Really good work. This is a challenging workout. There's nothing easy about this one. All right. What do we have? What's
set of squats, right?
Do we have one more set? Oh yeah, we got one more set of squats. Jeez, I almost skipped them. Good thing Sarah's here to catch me.
I'm just gonna pretend that was an accident.
She's keeping me honest. I'm getting tired. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Last set of squats. So do what's comfortable, what is pain-free. Put your feet where it feels most comfortable. Good. Perfect. Great job. Everybody's looking really good. These are some good squats. Fantastic. This is our last set of squats. Come on, push through them. 10 to 15, get what you can. Fantastic. Keep the form nice and slow though, under control. Good. Whew. All right, that's it for me.
One more. All right.
Awesome job. Okay, now we're done with those. Now we can take a little break. Whew. All right, fantastic. I think from here what we'll do, we'll go into a little bit of a cool down and some stretching here. So let's go ahead. If you've got a yoga mat, you can go ahead and grab that. Probably should have gave you a warning beforehand, but we're going to go down onto the floor and do some cool down stuff. We're going to stretch out, bring our heart rate back down. Got about 5 more minutes here. So we'll start off first. Let's just go on the hands and knees. We'll give you guys all a second to kind of get here. We're going to go on the hands and knees. We'll just start with some cat-cow. We'll kind of get that spine nice and relaxed. It's probably a little fired up. So go into cat first. Think about taking the middle of your back and pushing it to the ceiling. And push that floor away with your hands. And then nice and slow, we'll go into the cat. Arch that back. Look up. Perfect. We'll hold that for a second. We'll go back. I'm messing up the cat and the cow. I think I'm reversing them.
I think you were.
This is the cow. So go ahead, push that spine up to the ceiling. Good. Keep breathing.
This is the cat right here.
Try to control your breathing. This is the cat. See, I'm not a yoga guy.
This is the cat.
Now we're going into cow.
Yes.
Okay, look up. Flex that spine. Good. Perfect. Let's go back, reverse it back. Push the spine up to the ceiling. Good. Try to control your breathing. Good. And reverse it. Look up. Flex the spine. Perfect. Good. We'll go one more transition here. Push that floor away. Arch the spine. Good. Hold it there. Good. Go ahead and reverse it. Nice and slow. Great. Good. All right, we'll go on to our butts. Have a seat here. So go ahead and get your legs out in front of you. We'll take your left hand, go down to your right foot with that. As far as you can, just to where it's slightly uncomfortable. Doesn't have to be painful. We're just going for a little light stretch. And then hold that. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Trying to slow the breathing down. Good control. Perfect.
Try to relax your neck and head. I always want to look up when I'm doing this, and then relax your neck and head so it kind of gets that stretch all the way down your spine.
Yeah, just relax it. Let everything just relax. This is the best part of the workout, my favorite part. I don't know about you, Sarah, but
Definitely.
let's go ahead and switch legs. So take your right hand. We're going to reach down to that left foot now. And same thing, just to where it's a little bit uncomfortable, a little tight. And we're just going to breathe here and just think about relaxing that muscle every time you exhale. Just letting tension out. Good. Is it midnight yet? I know it's probably pitch black outside. Great, good. All right, sit back up. We're going to take those legs, put them together, and then you're going to take one leg, let's say your right leg, cross it over your left leg. Then you're going to take your left arm and push it through. So this kind of stretches your glutes Gets your spine stretched a little bit. This is like a human knot we have going on here. Good. Just keep breathing here.
If you want a little more stretch, you can even take your head and look over that right shoulder.
Look up behind you. Good. All right, let's go ahead and flip it. So feet back together. So now you're going to take your left leg over your right leg, and then right arm is coming through to the other side of the leg, and you're kind of turning and looking to your left. Should feel maybe a little tight in your glutes, through your back a little bit. Perfect. Good. Whew. I feel very relaxed now. All right, I think we made it, guys. Congratulations. Give yourself a round. That was a tough workout. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. Hopefully you enjoyed the workout as well. I know I did. And thank you to Sarah and Gwen for joining us today too, and their help. And hopefully this crew will be back again in the future here. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody again.
Yep, thanks, Isaac. And just a reminder, our next workout is coming up Thursday at 9:30, and then Saturday at 10. And for anybody on campus here that wants to join us, we'll also be here tomorrow at lunch at 12 or 12:30. So hope to see you at one of our next workouts.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
Thank
then we'll
you.
stick around a few minutes. We'll stop the recording. If anybody has any questions or wants to say hello, happy to talk to you guys. So thanks for coming.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you run through the